Hello TBA fans, as always is your tips, tricks, techniques, strategy playing this game and going beyond. As always, if you're going to be a senior player, have some popcorn, have a cold beverage, enjoy yourselves, and leave us a comment down below to help the little guys if they happen to have questions. Now if you happen to be small, medium, or just come join this channel to check it out, welcome as we journey together as Total Battle Forever. Anyway, let's go straight into it. Today we have the Shadow Invasion event, and I'm going to walk you through how you should approach it appropriately, how to tackle this particular event, especially if you're new. Now again, I know you guys know about this event, but how much do you know, especially if you're newer or just learning, or even if you're a senior player, just check it out and take a look and then let me see what your decisions are. And if you have comments down below, just put a message down below, because every little thing helps all of us grow. Because what's the goal of this game? To develop, to accelerate, and to improve, and also help our clans grow, and much more. So the game really helps us build. So let's get straight to it. So again, like I said before, when you take advantage of events that come out every day, you're gonna find there's a lot of things that pop up. Now I do know that right now the Frozen Warden package is up because this is a new event that's out because of the Christmas period. But you know, you can't ignore the fact that $7.50 AUD is actually very cheap. Now frankly, if you are playing this right now, I'm a big person when it comes to saving money, but when it comes to small packages and great deals, never ever kind of walk away from it, because by doing so you're only going to put more advantage to yourself, because you're taking advantage of what's available. Now remember guys, be wary that every single time you buy another one, it's going to double up, but that's on previous videos. Now if you do get it, you gain yourself some Elder Frozen Wardens. Now this comes out every year of the Christmas period, and then every year there's going to be other events for every special event. So Easter, Christmas, Boxing Day, Black Friday, you name it, there's always going to be other things coming out. Now these guys here are effective against the Frozen, but they're also let's face it, they are another unit that can be added on as an additional merc, right? That's what they are. Now with that in mind, they will assist you in doing extra damage, and for $7.50 they'll last for 7 days. It's actually not bad. That's actually a pretty good deal. So let's get straight to the point. That's not really what I'm really looking at today, and that's not the real big deal. We are looking into the event of the Shadow Invasion event, right? Now with the Shadow Invasion event, you guys know, or you may not, especially if you're new, I'll leave this page on so you can take a quick read, but the idea of Shadow Invasion event is that it doesn't count to Valor, it provides you CP. Now what's CP? CP is essentially the conquest points that can be earned during battling against PvP, KvK, COT, which is Kingdom vs Kingdom, Clash of the Thrones, when you do CP runs, or even when you do events like this, and other ones like Olympus, Lava, Fountain event, and so other ones as well where you can play in. But they're events that count towards more gaining conquest points. Now with the Shadow Invasion event in particular, this one here will allow your hero and captains to attack it as a team, and you can gain a X amount of CP. But let me warn you as a word of caution that walking into this event is not always ideal, but depending on the situation that you're in. Now why do I say that? The reason why I say that is because Shadow Invasion event always tends to fall into when Clash of the Throne goes on. So let's take a quick look. You can see Clash of the Throne is happening right now. We've got another day left before that closes. Shadow Invasion event always tends to come up when this event happens. Why? Well, to be honest, I don't know why, but I guess the reason is because, well, you can gain CP, and the creators felt it was a good alignment, because in a way, if you're someone who doesn't want to battle other people on the field, or you find that a lot of players, you just, no matter where you hunt, they have no troops to attack, therefore failing to achieve any points for Clash of the Throne, well, attacking Shadow Invasion, as long as your shield is down, will gain you the necessary CP points to compete in Clash of the Thrones. Remember this, if you are trying to compete within Clash of the Thrones though, there is an issue that you must be wary about. You cannot get a position in Clash of the Thrones if you're not in the right level or perspective of the players that are playing. Now I have talked about this for Clash of the Throne in the previous videos, but in short, if you're a small player, like I'll give you an example, and this is just an example, if you have to be level 20, but you got people competing at level 200, level 300, with all honesty, do you really feel you have a chance of getting the top 100? The answer is a clear dead no, and that's a giveaway. So you have to remember guys that pay attention to looking at who already is the top 100 to your own level if you have the capacity to get actually into rank. Because if you don't look at that, you're actually wasting more money. No matter what you're going to put in, you will fail to succeed to get in a position, or if you happen to get in, you won't hold it for very long. That That's just the reality of things, so be wary about that, okay guys? Going back to our main discussion, which is Shadow Invasion. Shadow Invasion works really well for Clash of the Thrones. That's really the only real reason what it's really good for. It's not really good for gaining CP individually. If you are aiming for CP individually, then your best bet with all honesty are either doing 1v1 CP runs against another player 1 against 1, using the hero Ganyu, because his effective ability, if you read this, if you and your opposing player both have equal initiative in a battle, you land the first blow if you do not have allies taking part in the fight. I've talked about this before, but look, I'll do a quick rerun of it. This basically means as long as you carry one set of troops, only one, and your opponent has one set of troops as well, when you attack, you will always land the first hit, therefore not losing any troops. Of course, you need to be stronger and above the opponent that's defending, or you will end up losing regardless. But this way, you gain more CP because you will always earn and win more CP points attacking individually than doing it with a team, or even going against CP tournaments. It's just, you will never even compare or equivalent to the points that you earn, because when you do 10 runs and after the 11th run it starts decreasing, you will ultimately always gain the highest amount of CP, and this becomes really vital as you grow into your tier 8, tier 9 range for gaining CP points, because things get into the trillions, right? So the way to approach really when it comes to the Shadow Invasion event is to remember that when you go in here, and before we even do that guys, when you go into the Shadow event, remember your personal goals, that you'll be earning extra CP point goals here, which is the Conquest points, followed by earning things like the Elite Summoning Scrolls. You can earn Essence of Immortals and the Scroll of Triumph. And the Scroll of Triumph helps you for your Triumphal challenges, which happens for that month period. Essence of Immortals helps you grow your troops with your captains alike. And of course, you have your Elite Summoning Scrolls to summon the captains that you may not already have, but that's the ones that you can only unlock in the game normally, unless you're referring to seasonal, which is just seasonal only captains and artifacts, which I've already talked about on another episode. Now, if we go into this event, right, with this Shadow City, which is the Shadow Invasion tournament, you'll find that if you manage to defeat it, you can earn 7 clan chests. Now, this only works for tier 8, tier 9 players. So if you happen to be lower than that, don't go for it. Tier 7 can do it too, but you need almost like about 50% of your members participating and attacking it hard as if you're fighting against a Tin Man, or there's really no chance of defeating it. You really have a very, very low chance. And remember that when doing things like this, especially tournaments like this, going for the 3 stacks is the way to go. And you find that all the kingdoms are always going to be knocking this down the minute it hits the 3 stacks, because all they need is about like what, less than 5 players all at tier 9 or tier 8, tier 9, knocking it together as a team, and they will defeat it. They will 100% defeat it very, very, very easily, because you find in the older kingdoms, you're going to find a lot of epic tournaments are defeated very, very quickly. So how do you really treat this tournament with the right approach? Now, there are 2 ways you can do this, and I'll show you, but I won't attack it. I got other plans for it. But the idea is that you need to make sure you have the correct hero in mind. So Phaedus is great because plus 25% leadership allows you to carry more troops, or you can have Moronis because of 1.5 times for battle armor that he equips, which, remember guys, you need all 6 items for that to activate properly. If you even miss 1 item, then the 1.5 point bonus will disappear and will not work to your favor. Or you might have Hamon, because if you have this hero based on your clan territory and the right booster there, you'll be able to attack better, hit harder, hit stronger, based on, because he basically boosts up the bonuses effectivity within that clan territory. So that will pretty much would be the main heroes that you should walk into when it comes to the Shadows Invasion event. We now move into having the alignment. The alignment of captains should have either 1, a full attacking crew. And what type of attacking crew members you should be holding if that was the case? Well, Cleo, of course, our girl, because you have to remember, she has the ability to string for the entire army. You may want to consider having the mythic captain Skady, because she upgrades Guardian's health and strength. And then you might want to carry on with using Beowulf. This was the original team, or ultimately when SK first introduced both Beowulf and Skady to the team. But now that with all the newer things that are popping out, greater ways to approach it will be actually, if you can afford it of course, will be Hercules. Hercules is always an all-time favorite. If you have the money to afford it, he is totally worth it, because, I mean, guys, remember this, man. Strength of the entire army against epic monsters plus 1000 might, 1000%. and that's not even the full star level, guys. So that's really insane. Followed with the newest mythic captain, in this case, Hemdal, which a lot of people are going to be coming back after the season is over, which is another 2 more months. The strength against the entire army plus 750%, and again, that's not even his full stars. Now, those 2 captains combined with Beowulf will become the new team alignment for the strongest army you can go with against tournament base. Against players though, Cleo will of course bump in with Beowulf and Hemdal, because that'll be the way to go approach it in attacking players. But like I said before, this is a choice. You have 2 ways of going about this. One, you go in with a full attacking crew to earn the highest amount of CP you can gain. If that's what you're aiming for, if you're having trouble having those coordinated attacks with CP runs, or having the one-on-one CP runs is a bit harder for you, then you need to find other means. So doing that is not a bad idea if that's the only approach you can take, because that way you're earning the max CP points that you can achieve. But it will always be lower compared to having a CP run, and I already spoke about that. The other option, guys, is to treat it as if like you're going against the swarm. So you don't really align it with hitting as hard as possible, but you hit it to where you can help upgrade your lowest members. So in this case, you either would have Hercules if you have it, or Hemdal as your one main attacking cup, biggest one that's going to actually, where everyone else is going to kind of feed off, leech off on. If not, you can, again, Cleo is always known to be as referred as the little Hercules because of her abilities, and of course equipped her with Ragnarok gear and the right artifacts to hit as hard as possible. Now those artifacts in mind would be things like the Heart of the Forest, either Fans of the 5 Winds, Ifrit Lord Belt, Ghost Flame Lantern, and even if you want to throw in Zeus Lightning due to the ability of chance of dealing double damage. So they're great artifacts to equip on your captains in a line when it comes to tournaments like this. And what I mean by tournaments like this are ones where it involves you to use multiple captains and leaders to attack. Because if it advises you to do that, then a lot of them are able to go at once. And by saying so, what you want to do is either one, again, attack with your best alignment of captains to earn the highest amount of CP, which I said, but the second is to attack with the ideology to upgrade your lower level captains to give them a chance to gain points. So that would be your highest level captain with 2 lower level captains down below to give them the chance to grow. So if your alignment in this case, and I'll give you an example, and we push them back down, Cleo being my strongest captain, now I'm going to choose 2 weaker ones. Looking at their level, I might think about using maybe Dustin, Ingrid, for example. So Cleo ultimately here, and also my hero, will be really the ones that kind of carrying them along, so give them the opportunity to upgrade their levels. You're going to go, you know, well, but isn't that a waste of time? Is that really a good plan? Is that really a good idea? But frankly, both ways are great ideas. And by doing so, it actually achieves you your second alignment. But it's always good to remember this is actually more for towards the newer players here that are unaware of this. If you go to your hero, for instance, you're going to find there is area where you can look into your Hall of Fame. Now the Hall of Fame here is essential for growth, guys. Basically push towards the idea that all your captains need to be at perfect synergy, meaning that the higher levels they are to leveling up together, therefore the 3 alignments for tenacity, courage, and resolve then build up the main table, and that will allow you to increase your conquest points, valor points, and experience points in the long term because there's alignment. So there is a big sense of building your troops the right way and leveling up to a degree so everyone can gain the points necessary so you can grow even faster. So just pay attention to when you're doing these type of attacks against these type of events. Okay guys, that's very important. So hopefully, I hope that that's been very useful and handy for you. As always, if you happen to share the same type of material, come out. I'd love to go on a Zoom call. We can chat about everything total battle. Leave a like, subscribe, put a comment down below, and I'll see you guys again in the next TBF episode. Bye now.